Good evening and good morning in United States and good lovely night in Australia. We have ladies all over the world, and it is a conference called Global Women Conference 2020. I welcome everyone wherever, which part of the country you are watching this program. Um, and I really hope that today would be a lovely day. We have so many professional and intellectual and successful ladies on the board. And one by one, I will introduce you. The program has been designed in a very beautiful way. There are individual speakers who are going to give the speeches, and they are panelists who are going to discuss the topics. We have very interesting topics today. If you have a passion to work for a women development, you are the one who always think about that woman is not aligned with what she deserves in terms of health, in terms of education, in terms of balance for better balanced life and innovation and startups incubations she need to be developed as a future leader. So this is the right program to watch. We are going to discuss all these interesting issues today. Before I start, I want to thank the Musa Shaikh and Berkeley Me Global to sponsor this whole event with the concept that they feel that woman is the most precious asset on the universe, and she requires a great care. So, what is the objective of this foundation is that this foundation is trying to get the women right in place in terms of their rights and their due respect. So, what generally we are focusing at to discuss the policymakers that they should make supportive legislation, because we can make changes on a micro level, but of course macro level changes are really important. So if we involve the legislature, the parliament, the governments, and they commit themselves on getting a free education, free health, and the right to live freely in the country, I think the goal will be served. We are trying to get investments that can generate enough funds for startup and incubation. So in the panels, of course, we are going to discuss all this, that how we can achieve what is the roadmap, and how to invest in projects which create women jobs, because women are almost 50-50 ratio in a society. Even some societies, the woman is more than a man. So as a generic change in this gender proposition, women need to be given job opportunities. So through a fund management mechanism, we are trying our best to get the jobs, the creation of jobs. This is really important. And the main objective is to get a free education. When a child, baby girl, come in the world, she has her constitutional right that she will get a free access to education and healthcare. So we because a better woman, a better kid, an educated kid is going to create an educated nation. That is the concept behind. And we are talking about the developing countries where women situation is not that good, and we need to invest in women and child protection centers because of this proposition of women versus men. Women is now the earning hand, so the old women need to be taken care in a very organized way. That's why invest in early home care is really important in the developing country, where the where you are in a old ages and you are unable to handle yourself, and there is no social security structures in this country where you can get access to healthcare, education, and the basic facilities of your life. And of course, the justice is really important. So women need a justice at the doorstep. How we achieve this, this is the interesting discussion of the day. And before that, I will definitely highlight the woman in UAE, which is really an inspiring woman. And UAE is a very advanced country, and they proved themselves in a very short time as the leaders in the region. So, women in UAE, every woman, of course, every nation starts with the leader's vision. So the vision of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed is very clear about the women, that he thinks that the female leadership and empowerment at the core of any national success. So men and women are equal. They contribute. They should contribute. It's not about money, or it's not about a career. It's about a need that women should come out and deliver their services and value to the society, because they have their own capabilities. If you come across Her Highness Sheikha Fatima bint Mubarak, she says every day in UAE is a day for the women, empowerment and support. And the UAE national women, which we call Emirati women, should be proud on their accomplishments and for being an essential partner in the country's development, and for becoming a rational and global leader, role model to be immaculated. So every day in UAE, it's not that there is one day for women and then all the year nothing, no activity. No, it's every day women is being focused. They are given being rights. I'll share quickly some statistics with you. UAE is ranked as a leading country in gender equality in the whole Arab region, according to the World Economic Forum 2020 Global Gender Gap Report. So this is really interesting. And gender equality is paramount importance in UAE, and women has a constitutional right. They can have access to education, healthcare. They can do their practice. They can inherit a property, which is a big issue in some other countries where women is not allowed to have a property inheritance, and women are also guaranteed the same employment, health opportunities, and family welfare. And in terms of literacy rate, the men and women both in UAE, they have 95% of the literacy, and 77% of Emirati women enroll in higher education. So they are studying more than a man. And this is really encouraging. And this cannot achieve without the government and parliament support. As you can see, the government is supporting and people are welcoming, and women is really taking an interest. There's a perfect combination. 56% of UAE government university graduate in science, technology, and mathematics, which we call as STEM, is women. So exceeding 50%. So, and in this show, I'm going to introduce you a very prominent name in UAE as an engineer shortly. Literacy rate of women is 95.8%. And this literacy rate means that they are educated, and an educated mind is really productive for society, because a good educated woman is going to generate a health, and she take care of her health and the family health. And so these are all connected: education, lifestyle, health. These are all connected concepts. If you educate the mind, you will accomplish your objectives. So we have some very prominent women who, like four women UAE national are fighter pilots, which is an amazing concept. That woman is in the space, woman is in the air, and they are serving the country and serving to the society. This is an amazing concept. And of course, the two-thirds of the public sector jobs are for ladies, and how we divide it, 30% women are in leadership role. That's really amazing. It's an example that women can lead, 15% in technical and academic roles. There is a council in UAE, which is the Gender Balance Council, who always take care of these matters and try to reduce the gap between male and females. We have 9 women in UAE cabinet, which is really interesting because in other part of the world, it's still not achievable. I'm talking about the developing countries, of course. 9 women serve in UAE cabinet, and they have something called Minister of State for Youth Affairs, which is youth is the future of the nation, and the youth minister is also 22 years old in 2016. So this is an amazing combination that a youth is leading the youth, and youth has been taken care because youth is your future. So that's a very forward thinking that we should keep in mind. So women are everywhere. They are in judiciary. They are in diplomacy. The 7 Emirati women are ambassadors and serving the country from the front. In 2016, the UAE opened a first regional office for United Nations Women in Abu Dhabi, which is again shows the commitment of UAE government and the leadership towards the women. So UAE has signed the elimination of all forms of discrimination against women, which is uh, which is a very legendary and landmark signatures and in compliance. And UAE hosts regularly events, mega events where they invite the world leaders. And of course, there are some very important laws that every government has to look into is the child protection, elimination of all form of discrimination, working hours, equal remuneration convention, and convention of minimum age of work. These all are well understood and applied in UAE. And if you move forward, so UAE as an example, and Mohammed bin Zayed is has proven that his competence, his leadership is really, really an example for the world. For all developing worlds can take the model of UAE which they adopted, and it's really going to be a dynamic country where women is really feel a part and connected in the society. And I'm going to introduce you some UAE nationals in this program, so you will hear from your own ears that what are their feelings, how well connected, and how happy they look in terms of being a part of the UAE community. And of course, this is a global women conference, so we have women from America, Australia, Europe, UK, and Middle East region, Far East, China. So all the women of the world are under one roof right now, and they are going to discuss their feelings, their thoughts, and their visions, their ambitions, that how they see that what is the status of a woman and where we need to go, where we stand. It's a very forward looking thinking. So